I am off home. So this should be fun. It's only roughly like, well, maybe just under 2 hours. Pretty sure, like an hour and 40, maybe an hour and 50. So in theory, I should be able to get there at least. Should only take me an hour and a half, because traffic's not really gonna be a problem right now. Never is when you ride every day, right? Whew, look how dead this one. This is dead. I mean, it is Sunday. So this should be interesting. I haven't ridden with a backpack since I had the Victory. That's going back a long time, like maybe, I think I crashed it in 2023. Yeah, so it must have been around that time. So yeah, not that I don't like mind running backpacks, it's just that I had the Road King, so I had saddlebags, or I used to tie down a bag, so I never really liked wearing a backpack. And that's mainly because I didn't want to cover up when I was riding with the club, my set. It was mainly so clubs knew exactly who I was. There was no second guessing or trying to minimize that whole, is he an outlaw or not? And I didn't really want them to think I was, because they'll see something on my back, but they want to know what it was, so that can spark them. But it's happened to me before. Running around, had a backpack on, someone sent, and then it got back. The reason why the guy was following me was because he couldn't understand what the logo was, so I stopped. He stopped, I put my bag down, he saw the back patch, realised I wasn't a 1% or an MC, and left me alone. So I was like, cool, let's not cover it up. But now that I don't have a set of colours anymore, I can wear my backpack. Now you tell me, do you ever wear your backpack and get people questioning who you're? Is it more dangerous for you to wear your MC colours around if you're not in a diamond club? Or are you just one of those guys like my mates who just don't care? If I have a problem with someone, I'll deal with it head on. We'll discuss it. Man to man, we'll have a cordial. Which is go over tops to them, because these guys can, they grew up in the life, so they kind of know their talk. Why are you so close to me? But yeah, a little bit annoyed though. I did a video this morning, and for some reason, nothing recorded. It was very emotional and heartbreaking, if you must know. And I cried quite a bit about it when I was at work. No, luckily for me, I ride every day, so the footage that I lost, I can make it back. Like literally, what am I doing right now? I'm recording tonight, so which I'll probably break into 2 anyway. Yeah, we can share this. Nice. He just skated through. There's a yellow line, he just skated through. I thought I was risking it. This car behind me. Oh, good on him. So happy for him. It's the small victories that I see on the road. I'm like, yes. Yeah, buddy. I think this guy here is going a bit faster. Probably should have indicated, but hey, let's go. And he, oh no, he's not on his phone. For a minute there, I thought he was on his phone. But yeah. So yeah, talking about some footage I lost. Not happy about it, but like I said before, oh well, make some more. And like I said, I'll probably break this one up to 2 anyway, so not too concerned by it. Yeah, so anyway, the topic that we talked about was I was having a mean discussion with a fellow rider. He rides a sports bike, and we're talking about, riding skill and all these other things and different riding, and it really got me thinking actually, because he's asked me to take his bike out for a spin, and I said, if I had the money to repair any damages, sure, but it's a $12,000 bike. I don't really have $12,000 or even $5K to cover any damages. So, no. And because I've never really ridden a sports bike. And the guy was a little bit, this is kind of how the discussion kind of came about and why we turned about it. Because I said, listen, mate, you could hop on my bike, ride around, I'll be fine. You'll feel the weight of it. It'll be a bit sketchy at first, but, and then, if it was, there's still a little bit of a learning curve when you hop on a Harley, but once you understand throttle response and weight of your bike and braking powder, similar to, as long as you've ridden a bike, you can kind of hop on a cruiser and you should be fine as long as you're not an idiot. But now mastering how to ride one of these on very sharp corners, like even I'm still learning. I have mates who ride choppers, like forks out there 10 times faster than some of us that are riding on street glides or road glides and stuff. They are insane. And yeah, he needs a little bit more room. He can't ride in pack formation like the rest of us did when we were in the club. But he just knows his ground clearance, and he can ride. And that's it. That's the thing though. So going back to that, so he was, we talked about it. And I tried to explain to him that it's kind of like, I would say it's kind of like skiers and snowboard talk about their ones, right? So I was a skier, then I moved to snowboarding. And when I was snowboarding, a guy said to me, yeah, so you're fine snowboarding, because I picked up skiing pretty fast. And he said, yeah, you'll find that you wouldn't have mastered it though. And I said, no, I never actually mastered skiing. And he said, yeah, it's very hard to master skiing because you have two sticks. Easy to learn, hard to master skiing. Now snowboarding on the other hand is very hard to learn but easy to master. And that kind of popped into my head, this whole conversation about snowboarding popped into my head when we were talking about bikes. Now I think, funny enough, I think that slammers, so sports bikes, are very much like snowboards. Hard to learn, easier to master. And I'll get to it soon. Don't just come to one and say, no, it's always hard. Like, hear me out. And I reckon Harleys are easy to learn on and harder to master. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, and I'll tell you some things on some evidence base that I've seen that can back it up. How's that sound? Okay? We all good? Sweet. I'm going to carry on even though you're probably yelling at me through your computer screens or whatever. Or you're telling me, hey, yep, I want to hear this. So if that's the case, sweet. I'll keep talking. Either way, I probably am. Anyway, I'm rambling. So the reason for it is that once you learn the fundamentals, like, feeling your feet behind you, build your confidence up because you're in and this is on the sports bikes. Once you build it up and you're in that position, then you can kind of, it's, and then you learn your brake, your throttle response. You can take that over onto all sports bikes. Now, obviously, your throttle, your CCs, maybe a bit of weight difference might change, but the actual pointing at your, your knees out and counter steering, which I think most people do anyway now on both bikes. I've noticed that I've been doing it a little bit more on this bike, or my Road King, yeah, a little bit more. I feel like I am. I've never really been trained, so I feel like I just naturally started doing it. So don't quote me on that. I might not be. That's why I'm going to record this one, to actually have a look at what's happening with my handlebars and how am I cornering and see what I can improve. But anyway, back to slammers. So yeah, like when the slammers are, and they're learning how to do it in that position, you jump on 600cc bikes, which is probably more powerful than and probably more dangerous than some of these 1200cc bikes, like the sports and stuff. Remember, I'm keeping it to more American range, like the heavier bikes, than some of these lightweight cruisers. So, yeah, and more like mid to experience. I'm not including learner bikes, because learner bikes, even though I know your 600cc's are learners, but even you guys even tell me that those things are pretty dangerous. So, and enough for most people. So, are they really a learner bike? This is a very dangerous corner because cars can come flying through there. Even though it's 80, people go 120 sometimes, so gotta be careful in that corner. But yeah, so so once you learn the fundamentals, which is a hard thing to learn, don't get me wrong, like, it is impressive what you sport bike riders do, very impressive, but like, once you learn it, like, cool, like, you can kind of hop to all the other bikes, like, well done, like, it's not easy. Now on a Harley, once you jump on a Harley, an Indian, or like that, has some grunt to it, like, yeah, there's a bit of, you have to learn the fundamentals, like the throttle, your foot pegs position, gears, brakes, but the thing is, though, our machines are so much heavier that it takes a little bit more to slow down, so we really need to know that. And the next one is depending on your bike, all Harley bikes will have a lot less ground clearance than you. And if you've ever seen someone for a breakout around some of these corners, like, whoa, like, majority of people can't ride breakouts here in New Zealand. Now, there's some, because there is the exception, an experienced rider who understands ground clearance and just generally how to go around corners, and they just go. It's quite magical to see, but that's what I'm talking about. Is a lot of people say they can take corners, but can you actually take a corner on a Harley? And that's another question. And that's when it comes to experience, which takes, again, a lot of learning, a lot of hours on the road, a lot of things. And now the other reason why it is, I would class it even harder to master, is because, unlike you, if I jump from this to a Softail, the forks will be out here. All my handlebars will be different. It'll be down here, it'll be up here. Like, that is, it's completely different riding every time you sit on another man's bike. Yes, once you understand that some of the fundamentals you can kind of switch, but the weight is completely different. Like, if you jump from this to Fat Boy, you try to take that corner like you would on your bike, nah, not gonna happen. Like, it'll take a lot of goes to actually master it. And that's the beauty about Harley, is that you kind of get to master everything again, like hopping on different bikes. Now, I'm not saying everyone's like that. Some people pick up certain things faster than others, It's no one against, so one's not more harder than the other. I just think that there's a steeper learning, a little bit steeper, a deeper and more complex one when it comes to the end result, when it comes to actually mastering riding a cruiser. And then the facts part on why I think it is. When you watch a video and you're watching a sports bike take some corners, we've all seen it, it's like, yeah, nice cornering, well done, like, wow, that was smooth. Well, now when you see a Harley do it, and he's cutting those corners pretty raw, and you're waiting for him to, like, hit that floor, because he's actually going pretty low for Harley, he's leaning that bike over. You're like, oh my god, that was just amazing. Why? Because one's harder than the other. Ha! Then the other one is pulling a wheelie. A wheelie, mate. Which one's harder? On a sports bike? Or on a cruiser? On a Harley? Yeah. Yeah. Now each have their place, of course, and obviously your bikes are differently, sports bikes are differently made for speed and cornering and stuff. And I mean, wow, the amount of learning curve you'd have to master it is again phenomenal. Like, wow, I've seen somebody else, you guys go pretty fucking quick. Like, and yeah, you take those corners and where your head is, I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive. We've got some gravel coming up. That's a question. I know how it feels on a Harley, but how does gravel feel on a sports bike? Do you guys what do you guys feel more, or? I mean, it sucks either way, right? Luckily I've got shit. When in doubt, just power through. So we can do, right? But yeah, but that's my evidence base there. Oh god, is there some more gravel? Shouldn't be too much more, I wouldn't think. Nothing's really. You're looking for the road for excess to see if there's how much more gravel will there be. But there's some there, so it could have been left over from us going this way. Sorry guys, just sometimes in New Zealand you'll come across these and you're thinking it's fine, and then you'll get to a big open area and it'll be fully gravel. You're like, oh, and you'll be coming in hot because you think it's over. And yeah, you don't want to be in that. So just, always pay attention. And obviously back away from your front vehicle, because they'll spray a lot of gravel onto you. And it will hurt. But yeah, so what's your thoughts on, what do you reckon that's harder? Leave in the comment, eh? I wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts. What's this harder? And what's the hardest bike you actually had to learn on? Very curious on that. Now, but yeah, no, there's actually no more to that. So I'm just kind of looking for an opening, but I don't think there's one up here. So I'm gonna love you and leave you on this one here. I'm gonna do some riding with a bit of music. Hold up. Oh, I finally learned how to pause on my Kato Sprint, so I'm very happy. They told you there's some sharp corners here in New Zealand. I have some mates that's just got no fear in this. But that one there, back there, it's so dangerous when it's wet. I had a mate on Indian Chieftain, I think it was. I was directly behind him and his whole back tyre almost slipped out. And he wasn't even going that fast, it's just, hit the wrong spot. I'm like, no, because those things can take up a lot of room. First I panicked for him, because I don't want to see him hit the deck, but then I was like, if he actually hit the deck, where am I going? Because none of my bikes are ABS, so I'm just getting out because it was wet as hell. It's like, oh god, if he just slipped and I tried braking, I'm probably going to slip. So I had to line up. I was going to take a very slow down, but I was going to go off to the right and kind of come around it. Thinking that if he slipped out, it'll go that way. Hoping. Well, that's all it is half the time, isn't it? Just when we're trying to avoid crashes, it's just, thinking of a safety way out and controlling your bike. And I do hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm just going to throw my bike down. Yeah, I hear you on that one. And the reason for is sometimes your way out could end up with you over a cliff edge. So yeah, I don't think I want to be on the bike if the bike's going off the cliff or heading in that direction. Obviously, slow down your bike and control it as long as possible if you can, because it's safer to do so and easier. If you don't even try and attempt that, then yeah, you're always going to have to get new bikes, because yeah, the amount of, if you ride every day, like, you need to learn that. I'm sorry, you're going to have to learn how to really risk it, and just don't trust your first judgment, just letting go. Like, oh, well, sorry, yes, let go. We're going down, let go. Don't be on the bike. Like, you'll be wanting to hang on to the bike, let go. If the bike's going down, you're going down. Fuck that. Get away from the bike. The bike will drag you. You know, it weighs more than you, so it's going to drag you longer. So, you know, I haven't actually had a chance yet to actually have quite a bit of fun on this yet. I mean, a little bit of fun, but I haven't had time to get you go out on long journeys. So good. But yeah, you know, when you're learning how to ride, you know, definitely, you know, learn how to, don't just freak out and be like, that's it, I'm out. Like, really try to process what's happening. You'll be surprised when it's an actual life or death moment, or like, oh, I need to think of something. You'll be surprised how much time you actually have. Like, your brain, I find when I've been stuck in these things, is it goes through the roof. Like, I am really, I need to stop shouting because the microphone's just here. Sorry guys. You know, really? You know, can you, you know, you really have enough time. Every time I got in a serious conversation, to injury, everything kind of slowed down where I kind of think one or two, or at least one option of what to do. And I've had my back tires stuff out, I've actually been in a few crashes, and I've also recovered from a lot of near misses when the cars are almost backed out and I've had to really think about it, but people open doors. And again, it's just that confidence, and like I said before in my previous videos, be aware. Just be aware. If you're aware, then it's like cool, like you'll be fine. If you're not, then, oh, is that Barbie-Girl? Why is that playing? I reckon my partner I had it all set up, and I reckon my partner has came in and she presented a whole bunch of musics. This is to the missus, you smart ass. She preset it. I wasn't really paying attention. I was like, this isn't my playlist. Because as soon as I realized what I was playing. Oh, she's a little comedian, that one. Good on her though. Oh, I loved it. Where are you coming? That wasn't the greatest corner taking. Alright, let's put some distance between me and this car. Anyway, I'm gonna catch you later, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'll do another quick video later on. But, yeah. Laters.